Because I haven't done anything wrong.
Well, I just need to make sure that you're not like sort of in line with any terrorist groups or anything like that you could be using for hostile reconnaissance or anything of that nature.
Do you suspect I'm a terrorist officer?
In this episode, News Now Yorkshire is operating his drone outside a police station when a sergeant opts for force instead of facts. She claims he swore at her, a statement completely contradicted by the footage. And rather than dealing with it directly, she pulls in other officers to act on the allegation. From that point, the threat of arrest becomes a tool to extract his personal details, not to address any genuine offense. This is policing based on allegation rather than evidence, and it only flows one way. The encounter doesn't end with the officers proving a case. It ends with News Now Yorkshire taking the situation to court. When a sergeant sets the scene with a false claim, the fallout is almost guaranteed, and the consequences play out exactly as you might expect.
Okay.
Just sort of flying around, see what happens.
Right. I understand that officers just tried to have a word with you on the way into the car park.
She sort of shouted at me in a plain clothes, personal car, so I didn't have a clue who she was.
Apparently you've told her to pee off.
Did I?
That's what she said to us. If that's the case, that's not acceptable, is it?
Well, that's why we wear independent witnesses that never lie.
Right. What do you mean by that? Right, okay. Well, yeah, I've got mine on as well, so...
Well, thanks for letting me know.
Can I take your details just so we know what you're doing, and you're recorded on our systems, and we've got the fact what you're doing, and to make sure you're not to no good?
No, I'd rather not, if that's okay.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I haven't done anything wrong.
Well, I just need to make sure that you're not like sort of in line with any terrorist groups or anything like that you could be using for hostile reconnaissance or anything of that nature.
Do you suspect I'm a terrorist officer?
Well, I don't know until I speak to you. Do I? Until I take your details and check you through.
Is that what you do with everybody?
If you're being verbally abusive to people, then you have technically committed a public order offence for which I would require your details.
The officer's approach already running with the story that he swore at the sergeant, presenting it as if it's undisputed fact. News Now Yorkshire doesn't get pulled into a drawn-out argument. He immediately points to his body-worn camera, demonstrating exactly why independent recording exists. This moment matters because it instantly exposes imbalance. On one side, there's a claim. On the other, there's clear, irrefutable evidence. Then the situation takes a sharper turn. When he refuses a hand over his personal details, the justification suddenly jumps to checking whether he's connected to any terrorist groups. This isn't a lawful reason. It's a clear pressure tactic, designed to intimidate and manipulate rather than address any real concern.
Right.
So could I have your name and date of birth and address, please?
What, you think I've committed a public order offence?
Yeah, because an officer's just told me that you've sworn at her in the street.
Well, I need to get her to make that statement then, because she's lying.
Well, she's just told me as she's driven in that you've sworn at her.
Did she?
Yeah.
Right, well, I'll be making a complaint about her then.
That's absolutely
And if you
fine.
take my details, I will have to sue West Yorkshire Police.
That's not a problem. You feel free to do so. The reason I've explained the reasons why I'm asking you for your details.
What happens if I don't give my details?
Then you're potentially committing an offence.
Well, I will.
It's a lot easier if you do, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to give my details.
Okay.
I will if you tell me that I'll be arrested if I don't.
Well, potentially you may be. Yeah, it may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act because your name and address can't be verified.
Right.
And I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed an offence.
What reasonable grounds is that?
But I've been told by a fellow officer that you've been verbally abusive in a public place, which would be a Section 4A public order.
I have it all
offence.
recorded, officer.
That's fine.
Do you want me to show you the recording?
Not at the moment, but I want.
Because I could show you the recording.
I want you to.
And then you would know.
Details, and I've explained it to you. You've asked me to explain it to you, and I've.
This is where the reasoning completely collapses. The officers insist a public order offense has taken place, not because of anything actually happening, but simply because the sergeant says so. When News Now Yorkshire asks what happens if he refuses to give his details, the answer loops back on itself, implying he might then commit another offense, which could justify an arrest. That's not law. It's circular reasoning dressed up as authority. Even bringing up Section 24 pace only highlights the weakness. Arrest powers must be necessary and grounded in real evidence, not handed down based on convenience, rank, or assumption. Here, the only proof is a colleague's unverified claim. Even when footage is offered that could immediately settle the dispute, they refuse to view it. That deliberate avoidance speaks volumes. Ignoring clear evidence exposes intent and undermines any claim of lawful procedure.
Officer.
You do.
I do.
You've been verbally abusive towards somebody.
I haven't though.
She's alleging that you have.
I haven't
As I said before, I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed a public order offence.
But I haven't.
Okay, listen to me. Because of that nature, that's why I require your details. And as I've explained to you, if you don't give me your name and address and can't verify who you are, it may make your arrest necessary in order to ascertain those details.
Will you arrest me if I don't?
I'm not saying I definitely will, but I'm saying it may make your arrest necessary.
Am I being detained right now?
At the moment, because I need your details.
Yeah, I'm being detained.
Potentially, if you don't give me your details, you may be arrested, is what I'm saying.
No, I just want to check if I'm being detained right now.
I understand why you can't just give me your details.
I'd rather not. That's the point.
But I'm asking you to.
If I have to by law, then I will.
You do have to by law, yeah.
Okay, and what section of law says I have to?
I'm telling you that because you've committed an offence.
I haven't, though.
I suspect that you have.
You suspect that I have?
I suspect that you have.
Okay.
I only need reasonable grounds to suspect. That's 2 to 3 out of 10 on the scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
I've got that reasonable suspicion.
Yeah. Can you let me know that lady's name or collar number?
She's a sergeant who was off duty at the time, coming into work for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Because
she's a police
she's
officer.
lied to you. Now you threatened me with arrest, which has now made me have to give my details. So I will have to make a call to my solicitor.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
They corner him with a manufactured necessity. If we can't identify you, we'll arrest you to do so. That's a misuse of arrest powers. It's not about law. It's about officers deciding they want his personal details and using the threat of detention as leverage. Arrests are meant to coerce cooperation, and they certainly can't hinge on a single, unverified suspicion. Be wide the stage, the so-called reasonable grounds, are anything but reasonable. They're convenient excuses. That's exactly why the threat works. Facing a circular and self-serving justification, he provides his details. Not because the law requires it, but because the situation has been engineered to leave him no real choice. Compliance extracted under pressure isn't consent. It's forced submission.
So I have got it all recorded though, just so you know.
If you want to make a complaint.
Yeah, I will be making a complaint straight away. Yeah, definitely.
I haven't got
Is that what she actually said to you? I told her to pee off.
As I drove out of the gate, she was driving in and she said, "Will I have a word with you?"
Yeah.
Because she'd spoken to you and you told her to, I'm not going to say the full word, but pee off. You understand what I mean by that?
I understand what you're saying, but she's lying to you. You know that, don't you?
Well, if she's lying to me, she's lying to me. If it's on your camera, then you've got grounds for a complaint.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I'm not lying to you. I can only go about.
You know, last time this happened, I got £1,000 for it. You know.
Right.
Yeah, that was at Humberside though.
What was that? What was that in relation to though?
Because someone said I was committing antisocial behaviour, so the officer unlawfully used Section 50 of the Police Reform Act to gain my details, just like you've unlawfully used Section 5 to gain my details.
Okay.
And then they offered me £1,000 for my trouble.
I haven't used Section 5.
Oh, did you use?
You've potentially committed an offence under Section 4A of the Public Order Act.
Oh, okay. Section 4A.
Yeah.
And that requires me to give my details.
It doesn't require you to give your details.
You just told me it did.
What I'm saying, no.
The officer leans heavily on the word potentially. Potentially an offense, potentially Section 4A. That single word carries all the weight, masking the fact that there's nothing concrete happening. Section 4A isn't triggered by a vague maybe. It requires clear intent and real, tangible impact, not guesswork. IT gets worse. The cited powers keep shifting. One moment it's one section, the next it's something entirely different. This isn't precision. It's scrambling to justify a position that doesn't exist. If there were a genuine offense, the section wouldn't keep hopping around. And no amount of name-dropping legal powers suddenly gives him a right to demand his personal details.
If you don't give me your details, it may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of PACE.
Oh, okay.
Because your name and address cannot be verified.
Right.
And I suspect that you've committed an offence.
Well, that's the full explanation. Thank you for that.
That's what I said to you the first time.
Well, I didn't get that explanation, so maybe you didn't explain it properly. Maybe I didn't understand.
Well, you understand it now, though.
I do, 100%. Yeah, yes. I can't believe she lied to you, and she's a sergeant. She's going around lying to you guys. Do you want me to show you the video?
No.
Is it because you know that she's lying?
I don't know that she's lying.
I think you know. Okay. I think you know. I think you do know.
We're literally just going off what we've been told.
Yeah, what you've been told is a lie, though, is what I'm saying. I could show you the video now and show you that she's lying. What do you guys reckon? Your personal opinion?
My personal opinion doesn't matter. I don't work. My personal opinion has to stay at home when I come to work.
Well, use your detective skills then. What do you think?
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Speaking to you.
Well, yeah, I could have showed you the video.
To find out your version of events.
No, you know what you're doing is getting my details unlawfully.
Okay. I'm not. I've already explained to you the reason why.
I could have showed you the video and then you would have no reason to get my details.
If you're happy to show me the video, I'm happy to watch it. It's not a problem.
Well, there's no point now because you've already given my details.
This is where any pretense of fairness vanishes completely. He keeps offering the simplest solution. Just look at the footage. But it's flatly ignored. One officer even admits she's going purely on what she's been told. That isn't evaluation. It's blind obedience. His side of the story isn't measured against evidence. It's dismissed. They favor hearsay over real-time footage, defending a narrative they don't want challenged. Then, only after securing his details, suddenly the video matters. That timing says everything. If the footage were genuinely relevant, it would have been checked first. Watching it last isn't proper investigation. It's damage control.
You've offered to show me the video, then that's fine.
Yeah. Then you see that your sergeant's a liar.
Well, show me it if you want to show me it. I'm not bothered.
Am I being detained?
No, you're free to go. Thank you for giving me your details. Just be careful where you're flying it.
No, I won't.
Obviously, bear in mind that side of the gate and the fence is private property.
Oh no, I've already been over there.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go over again.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But bear in mind that you may be spoken to again by an officer if it's deemed that your drone's interfering with any police activities or anything like that.
All right, well, I've got permission to be here.
From
the Civil Aviation Authority.
Okay, have you got that in writing? Have you got anything on you can show me to confirm that?
Do I need to?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you, am I?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you that your sergeant's a liar.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to get drawn into this back and forth with you.
You've already been drawn into it.
I've spoken to you. I've ascertained what you're doing. As long as you're not interfering
But what happened
with
to the
police
Section
activities,
4A?
That's fine. I'm not going to take any further action against it.
No further action.
I'll give you words of advice.
No, I don't want your words of advice.
Right, well, I'm going to offer
you can
them.
stick your words of advice.
Right, I'm going to offer you.
The instant they secure his details, the whole scenario falls apart. No offense is followed up, no investigation continues, and interest disappears entirely. Every warning, every claim, public order, terrorism, legal references, evaporates the moment the paperwork is done. That's not coincidence. If any of it truly mattered, it wouldn't vanish so quickly. This encounter was never about resolving an issue. It was about obtaining his information. Once that box was ticked, the rest became irrelevant. All the legal jargon, threats, and cited sections weren't steps toward justice. They were just tools to achieve compliance.
Speak to anybody in any... she's a liar. I never told her to pee off. She's an absolute liar. I will be making a complaint. Okay. I will be suing. Thank you very much. What's your details?
6468.
From the station?
Yep.
Your details?
290.
From the station?
Yep.
And her details?
She'll find those out for you. I believe her name's Sergeant Wiltshire, or Wiltshire, my apologies.
Sergeant Wiltshire?
Yep.
And her numbers?
I don't know them.
Well, I need her numbers.
I don't know them.
We'll have to radio through then.
I don't know them.
She's the one that made the complaint. I need to make a complaint about the lying sergeant.
Just ask to speak to Sergeant Wiltshire. She works on Team 4 Patrol South at Ellen Road. That's all you'll need.
Well, can't you just radio through and ask for her details?
No, because she's not actually on duty at the moment, because she was in, as you said, she was in a civilian car in a civilian clothing, so she's...
You could ring the control room and ask what her call number is.
I can't do that at the moment because I'm too busy, but you've got all the details.
But you weren't too busy to come and stop to talk to me?
Thank you very much.
Yeah? See you later, sausages.
I prefer bacon.
He's taking this matter to court because the whole encounter was built on claims that never actually happened. A sergeant said he swore. He didn't. Other officers repeated it without even checking the footage. And threats of arrest were used solely to extract his personal details. Once they got what they wanted, everything else disappeared. This isn't just a disagreement. It's a textbook example of power being misused. When officers treat a story as enough and evidence as optional, the only way to hold them accountable is in court. When News Now Yorkshire asks for their call-in numbers, the answer isn't a refusal, it's outright dismissal. Just minutes earlier, time wasn't an issue when they were stopping him, questioning him, threatening arrest, and demanding his information. That contrast says everything. Officers move fast when they want something from the public, but vanish the moment accountability is requested in return. Footage that could settle the situation is ignored, and basic identification needed for a complaint is treated as optional. They escalate quickly, lean on threats, invent offenses, and keep pushing until compliance is forced. Then it all stops. No offense pursued, no follow-up, nothing. That's the giveaway that if this had genuinely been about public order, terrorism, or any real concern, it wouldn't have ended the second they got what they wanted. If you found this breakdown useful, share and subscribe for more videos.